Welcome to the Pump and Dump channel for another video, this time talking about an interesting story that has been developing over the last couple of days in the mining sector, where Yamana Gold had for the last many months been in talks with Goldfields and in preparations for a merger with Goldfields to bring about a bigger company. The analysts back in the day when the presentation was issued were very skeptical. They didn't see any synergies in terms of operations. Why would these two companies be merging? And I did watch the 2-hour presentation, and it centered all around the combination of two dissimilar companies. It was kind of like Cabot and Cimarex in 2021. Here it's the same story. Goldfields, a mature company with little growth. Yamana presented as a company with lots of growth and with that kind of growthy stage of their business that they are in. Doesn't have the stability, the strength, the financial strength that a Goldfield has. So the idea was here to bring two companies together, which would create a new, bigger company that would have both features, growth and financial strength. And that's the same as with Cabot. Cabot has its huge natural gas presence in Appalachia, which is, I think, surrounded, and they're kind of like all boxed in and they can't really grow. Not very much, at least. And Cimarex was a company at that time that had lots of growth, and with low oil and gas prices, they were favoring this kind of transaction to bring about the same kind of bigger company with all this additional strength that we see here in the gold mining sector. Well, it's not just gold, but the metals mining sector. So that was how it was going. It looked like a done deal. Yamana had always traded at a discount to the exchange ratio with Goldfields, and so I favored Yamana over Goldfields, but I did buy both. I bought a little Goldfields and a bit more Yamana. And in the last week or so, I think on the 4th, the two companies, Agnico Eagle and Pan American Silver, came together to make a joint offer for Yamana, which included the cash component and the share exchange ratio between a combination of the two, of Agnico and Pan American. We can look at the terms. The original terms with Goldfields were very simple: 0.6 shares of Goldfield for each Yamana share. Pan American Silver was going to give 0.16, let's say, shares for each Yamana, and Agnico was going to give 0.0376. Plus, they were going to be doing a cash component of $1.04 a share. So that was kind of the new deal. And when this deal was announced, I think on the 4th, Yamana was very upbeat about making a press release recommending shareholders to vote no to the Goldfields deal and pick the superior deal by Agnico and Pan American Silver. And that was very interesting, because at the time, we see here how the gold mining sector was just deflated, was just terrible. Stock prices had been down, just drifting sideways, just dying, and then this new revived deal just brought life into the sector, and a lot of these companies that you see here on the side have just moved up with the move, the impulse, let's say, that came out of this counter offer for Yamana from these two companies. So I prepared a file to look at this. Initial on the 4th, the new deal was valuing Yamana at 502 a share, based upon previous days' prices of Pan American and Agnico. So at that point, Goldfields was at 734, let's say, and therefore, Yamana would have only been worth 440. So when this not revised, but this counter offer came in from Pan American and Agnico, it appeared that yeah, it appeared that it was the superior deal, and that Yamana could pay a $300 million breakup fee, which we have mentioned here, and that was, that was going to be, the superior deal. But now things have changed. Currently, Agnico and Pan American have done very poorly relative to Goldfields, which is up like 50%, and Pan American is down, and Agnico is barely up a couple percentage points. And so right now, the truth speaks for itself here. The revised offer, not revised, but the initial counter offer by Pan American and Agnico is much worse than what the Goldfields deal would be. So going into the merger meeting on, I think it's the 22nd, it's the next 2 weeks, I think, it is unlikely that the Yamana shareholders are going to look at this situation and say, you know what, we're going to pay Goldfields 300 million and take, a much worse deal with these Pan American and Agnico Eagle shares. It's just not likely that they will vote that way, but the Goldfields shareholders might vote no, and then they would have to give Yamana 300 million. And the question here is really, is Goldfields worth what it's trading at today and yesterday, and are these two also worth what they are trading at? I think, like Goldfields said that they were not going to revise their offer, that their offer was a superior offer, and I think that was within a day or so where it popped like this. This pop too, and I guess at the time they said it was true what they're saying, that that deal was the superior and they were not going to revise it and make it a sweeter deal for Yamana. And yeah, so why is Goldfields up so much here is really the question, and I don't have a good answer for it. I've not really done the financial analysis of Goldfields properly, so I cannot say whether this is correct or whether this is grossly inflated. But what I can say is that gold has not moved that much to justify such a large move if this price, around the third was correct. But we'll see. It could be that it was substantially undervalued, and in that case, it would, it would be what it is. But just getting back to this idea of what would Goldfields do if the Yamana deal is cancelled from either side, from themselves or from Yamana. I think it's unlikely Yamana will cancel the deal. I think it's more likely Goldfields will cancel the deal if this price here prevails and is justified. But what will they have to do? They'll have to find a new candidate to acquire and merge with, and I was of the opinion that the deal was a done deal. I was so convinced of it, going back to just talking about how um, you know how Cortera came to be with Simrex and Cabot. It was just so similar, the whole story. The managements both wanted it, and now all of a sudden Yamana says no, we don't want it anymore. And it's very confusing that they based upon a deal they received and the prices of one day, rather than looking at the intrinsic value of the companies that were proposing, and coming to a conclusion as to what should be the correct deal based upon intrinsic value. And it's very difficult to know what to expect here. So will be interesting to see how this pans out. I think Yamana will vote for the deal with Goldfields, even though management said a week ago that they should vote no. It was a stupid thing of the management to say, but we will see. I did buy some Goldfields back when it was melting. I sold half of it today, way below, not way below the high for sure. I think 1050 something. I sold half of it, and I bought some more Yamana with it because I see that first of all it's it is below the valuation it would be based on, Pan American and Agnico, and also I'm very hopeful that they will vote for the Goldfields deal. And if Goldfields says no, then 300 million to Yamana, and if Goldfields says yes, then Yamana rises like a rocket. Um, it's yeah, it's an interesting situation, but we'll see what happens here. So, not of course trying to recommend anyone to do anything, but you can make your matrix here, and if you want to play around with this, even if you want to risk your own money, it's of course your decision. As I have never given investment advice or told anyone that they must buy something, I just present it the way I see it, and that's it. I have nothing to sell. I don't even know why I do these videos, but I do them sometimes because I like to. And given the Twitter thing, how that worked out, I was completely correct on it. I think also, yeah, I think I should talk about that too here, because I think that's very important. Because I think Elon Musk had behaved very, how should I say, sketchy. Because I think, personally, that his co-investors were obviously interested in getting a better price to buy shares, and they probably contributed their investment in shares that they bought in the 30s and 40s, rather than putting money in at $52 a share. So I think that's my personal belief, is that he manipulated the market. I was reading through the Twitter board one day, and I saw how people were really disgusted at how they sold out, you know, in the low 40s, because they believed obviously that Elon Musk was going to fight this in court to not go through with it, and that he had a good chance of succeeding, because Elon Musk presented it as if he had a case, and then all of a sudden he just does a 180. And these are things, business practices that are very, very bad to display. And I think that it tarnishes the reputation of a person. And some people will say that Elon Musk has always been a sketchy character, but I think when it comes to money in that sense, you should not you shouldn't do these kind of things. And I think that hurts his personal brand, and I think it will impact some people who were investing and then got scared out because they believed him that Twitter was a scam, and now all of a sudden he has it, and does that make it not a scam anymore? And I think a lot of people who might have created a Twitter account and might have given some attention to what he was doing, and might have even bought some products he will be selling with Twitter. I think a lot of those people who actually invested money and got scared out and might have just made a tiny bit or lost some money, they will look at Elon Musk as someone that harmed them, and they will just sell whatever they have in relationship to Elon Musk, whether it's Tesla or anything else, and they'll just say to themselves, that's it. I won't buy a Tesla ever again. I won't do business with anything that is Elon Musk, and I won't make a Twitter account. And then there are consequences also to people's actions. And I think, like I just said, that Elon Musk did not behave responsibly, and I think that's very sad. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for this video. That's my thoughts. Leave comments if you want. Yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say, so have a nice day.